Good evening and welcome to Poland Daily. I'm Konrad Gorlinski. Well, Prime Minister Mateusz Morawiecki summed up work on introducing the new Polish order. The government has opted for one of the largest tax cuts in history. The head of government particularly emphasized the changes in the tax law, which will introduce, among other things, an increase in the tax-free amount. We've lifted the limits and we've put additional funds into it. The bill will allow those who make under 30,000 zloty per year to not pay any taxes. And as Poles have seen, the 13th retirement payment became fact. The severance payments have become fact. Poles no longer need to worry about how they'll pay for school supplies before the 1st of September. 500 plus became a fact. And extreme poverty, buying on store credit in counties and municipalities. You all remember that. And that has now become largely a thing of the past. Every local government submitted applications, and all of them will receive funds. We'll have a minimum deposit guarantee for those who would like to buy a home. Houses up to 70 meters without undue bureaucracy. But also a program for farmers, about which I will tell you shortly. And centers of learning, the Copernicus Center, small centers all over Poland for young people, so that there too they could encounter the world of modern occupations. Echoes of Wednesday's match between Poland and England at the National Stadium in Warsaw, which ended in a 1-1 draw, continue to reverberate. English players are accusing Kamil Glik of perpetrating a racist attack. Kamil Glik denies the accusation. The English press is also upset that the Polish crowd booed the English players for taking the so-called Black Lives Matter knee before kickoff. According to the English, Kamil Glik made an offensive gesture towards Kyle Walker. The scuffles between the players took place at the end of the first half of the match and during the break. As explained by Glik after the incident, he wanted to shake Walker's hand before the match, but Walker had refused. I think that the accusations against Glik are idiotic. Why do I think so? I was there and I saw it. Sure, Kamil made a mistake by grabbing Walker by the chin, but do the British know if Kamil said something racist against Walker? If they do, they would have to prove it. Kneeling to draw light to the problem of alleged structural racism has been an integral part of England's matches for over a year. The Polish UEFA Vice President Zbigniew Boniek has referred to the matter on Twitter. First they kneel, and then Walker looks at Kamil Glik with contempt and does not want to shake Kamil's hand. Total hypocrisy, that's where it all started. The International Football Federation will start an investigation into the allegations. As stated in a press release, the Federation has started the process of thoroughly analyzing the official match reports sent in by the head referee of their team. Russian Prime Minister Mikhail Mishustin and his Belarusian counterpart Roman Golovchenko have signed a decree on the main directions of implementation of the provisions of the Treaty on the Creation of the Union State for 2021 to 2023. The move will bring the two countries to fulfilling the agreement from 1999 on creating a union between the two states. Leaders of Belarus and Russia's governments signed a joint statement on the current development and further steps to deepen the integration process within the Union State. We have a common goal to achieve the growth of our economies, improve the well-being of our people, and at the same time preserve the sovereignty of our countries. Mishustin arrived in Minsk on Friday to finalize and sign, together with Golovchenko, the 28 integration roadmaps that covered common approaches to macroeconomic policies, including monetary policy, taxes, and customs rules, which were agreed yesterday by Vladimir Putin and Alexander Lukashenko. Belarus occupies a leading position in the supply of agricultural and food products to the Russian market, also high-tech machinery and equipment. About 50% of the domestic trade turnover falls on the Russian Federation. Putin said the two countries would sign a document before December 2023 to create a unified gas market and conclude similar agreements for oil and electricity. The agreement reached after Kremlin talks between Russian President Vladimir Putin and Belarusian leader Alexander Lukashenko is likely to be seen as the latest show of support by Putin for Lukashenko, who last year used force to break up huge protests against his rule. Moscow and Minsk have long been formally part of a union state and held talks about further integration. That has prompted concerns from the beleaguered Belarusian opposition that Lukashenko will trade off chunks of sovereignty in return for more backing from the Kremlin against the West. And finally, Spanish police have released footage of the arrest of the former head of Venezuela's military intelligence unit, Hugo Carvajal, on Friday, who had been in hiding since a Spanish court approved his extradition to the United States almost 2 years ago. Carvajal, once one of the closest men of Hugo Chavez, is suspected of having been involved in large-scale drug trafficking operations on behalf of the Venezuelan regime. The Spanish police said in a statement that Carvajal had changed his hiding place every 3 months and that he lived completely isolated without ever going out on the street. The operation is counted on the collaboration of the DEA liaison office in Madrid, according to the statement. Carvajal was a former general and ally of late Venezuelan leader Hugo Chavez. U.S. officials have long sought Carvajal because they believe, if he's willing to cooperate, that he could provide a treasure trove of information on the alleged drug activities of Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro and his associates. As always, thanks for tuning in this evening. I hope you have a wonderful weekend.